What is up, everyone, and welcome back to the channel. If you haven't seen the last video, we unboxed the GoPro Mission 1 Pro, and I'm here now to update you. It's been about a month since I have opened it, and I've had a lot of time to use it, and I found greatness about it, and I've also found some things that's it's okay. So we're gonna give you an honest review today, because that's what the normal dude does, and just join us as we get into it.
The world tells you to sit in a cubicle, drink your lukewarm coffee, and be a good little civilized human. But there's a primitive, chaotic voice deep inside our souls that screams, "Go get lost in the woods, catch a monster fish with your hands, and drive a roaring V8 through a giant mud pit." When that call comes knocking, you can't ignore it. You pack up the rig, you question your life choices, and you plunge headfirst into the wilderness. This is Normal Dude Overlanding. Welcome to the chaos.
Let's start with some of the accessories. First and foremost, I have some things to correct about the grip. So obviously the grip has been one of my favorite pieces that I've used. I've pretty much used this non-stop when I do all of my filming. And so I want to give you some things about it. So there's a lot of things, and I'm sure some people have figured this out by now, but if you haven't, when this originally came out, a lot of people were upset because you had to pull this out in order to get to the battery and the SD card, which I even quoted in my video because that's what I was informed of. Well, actually, when I was wandering around Silver City with my camera, I accidentally bumped this into something, and I noticed that this side of the deal was all loose. So if you can see, it was loose. I was like, man, I thought I broke it, right? Well, then I figured out that you can take off the button, which is the top piece, and this actually slides out. See? So it's an extra door. So, and it just comes, you can slide it completely out if you want. Anyways, it's got a little hook and all that. You can kind of see it there. And then you can access the side of your GoPro, and it is accessible through here. You can pop the battery cable or battery compartment open, and you can get to it, and you can change your batteries out, charge it, whatever you want to do, without ever taking it out of the metal housing. So, and then just to get it back in, you just put it back in. All right, so the button's right here. Can you see it? That little bitty button, you just press it, and it slips off, and then you slide it back over that little thing, and it locks back into place. Like I said earlier, the button does slide out, so if you don't want the button, you don't have to have it. There's a little button on there. So some cool things I found out about this on our trip. One thing I will say about this that is extremely annoying is it has the piece for your thumb here, like you're gonna click it, but it actually does not click hard enough to actually press the play button or the record button. You can kind of see that it doesn't really move there. You have to click down here. So if you click further up, it'll press it. I got used to it, and it's just now I literally just do it now. But it's up to you. I mean, mine didn't do it. Maybe others will. And if you probably slid something or, like I said, glued something up there, I don't know why you would want to do that. But if you maybe put something in there, made it press a little harder, you could click it down here, which would be nice. But anyways, this still is one of my favorite pieces and was worth the extra little bit of money. Like I said, it's got the mounting point on here too. I don't know if I showed that last time, but you can mount it from the side, so still pretty cool. Definitely one of my favorite pieces. So other than that, I have to say that this is probably worth, if you have the thing, worth the half off. If not, I don't know if it's worth like the full price, because there are some little quirks about it. But if you really like the point and shooting, kind of like a Sony camera kind of feel, this is definitely one of those things you should get. So let's move on to the next piece of accessory. So obviously we got next the waterproof case, which is just a die case. It's not, I mean, it's water, the camera's waterproof, but you get what I'm saying. Okay, come on, give me some slack. Now, obviously, I didn't pay for the sweet GoPro water floating handle. I have the cheap Walmart version, which worked just as good. So I probably will eventually get that one because it does have the quick connect, but still in it. Here are my thoughts. One of the things I've noticed on a lot of these dive cases is that it muffles the sound really, really bad. This one is not as bad as I thought it would be. It does definitely muffle the mic if you don't have a mic with you. So there is that, but it's not near as bad as you would have guessed with like the 13. It's pretty good. Okay, all in all, it's just a dive case. The buttons are easy to press. I gave this when I wasn't filming and I was entrusting it to one of the teens or my kid. I always put it in this case because it just makes me feel better. And honestly, it's been awesome. I've had no quirks about it. I still have to basically pat the inside or pat the back to get it to slide out. I have not figured out a better way to do that. The buttons click well underwater. I didn't feel like I was like fumbling to trying to get it to start. You can see everything pretty good. And this part in the video, I mentioned that some of the screen was cut off, and there is some of it cut off. It's not that bad. You can still see like myself or you or whoever's whoever's using it. You can still see them enough to know like, hey, I'm in frame. So not a big deal. All in all, definitely worth, I think, the extra purchase to get this, especially if you're going to be doing a lot of swimming or if you're just going to be rough. Like for me, I'm on the trail. I have it mounted to my vehicle on the outside, and if there's rocks, things like that, I want my camera to be extra protected. And so this is definitely a must if you're going to do that, because you can always mount it some other way. So pretty good piece. Now let's get into the camera itself. First of all, they come with these little shades, and when you put the shade on, as long as you're not moving too fast, you can't see this. But if you move the camera too quick, and I'll show a video here, you can kind of see out of the corner of the screen like a black piece when you're turning. And basically it's the camera picking up on the fins. I don't know what you would call these, but the little shade pieces. I can't notice a difference with this on and with it not on. So keep that in mind. I mean, I think it's more of like to me, like hey, it looks cool, rather than it like actually does something. But maybe I'm wrong. Maybe somebody's like, no, I must have this on. If that's the case, hey, that's the only thing I noticed, that you can kind of see it depending on what lens that you've selected, whether it be the ultra, the super view, or the ultra wide, or whatever. I use the linear a lot, and you can see it in, you can't really see it in the linear as much as you can see it in the wide, which I used a lot during my time at Silver City when I was catching big shots. So, and I'll put some of those videos in here so you can kind of see the difference. The most impressive thing was the low light. The low light is phenomenal. Okay, it is an absolute beast. Okay, I cannot praise that enough. We went into a cave, and I have my iPhone 17 Pro, and we had them out, and you couldn't see anything on the camera. Like no matter where you were, like even if you were standing in the light, you couldn't see anything. It was so dark. But the GoPro, I had it out, and I mean, it's dark, don't get me wrong, but like you can see the people, you can see the things going on around you through the camera, and it was just awesome. Honestly, that was one of the main reasons why I bought this camera. So like I said, definitely should, if you have problems with low light, you shoot in low light situations like I do, definitely awesome. So the other thing about the camera is I've noticed that outdoors it does great, which is its main kind of purpose, right? I mean, it's an action camera, even at its heart. So outside, I've never had a problem. It looks phenomenal. The integrated filters and things like that look fantastic outside. One thing I've noticed is that inside, depending on your terrain inside, it can get a little grainy. And there is a noise reducer built in, like you can have it maxed out. And what it basically does is like smooths it out. To me, it doesn't look as natural. I would take a little bit of grain over it looking like that AI kind of thing, you know what I'm saying? So keep that in mind. I just noticed it indoors. I've never noticed it outdoors, and maybe in certain situations you might, but like we did VBS, and I used the GoPro to shoot VBS, and pretty much the entire time, like, I noticed a little bit of grain inside, especially with a lot of lighting. We had a lot of different color lighting, a lot of different textures, things. So anyways, that's really the only complaint that I think I have, is that there's a little bit more graininess in some areas than others. By far, this is an awesome camera. Some people will complain about the price being high, and it does have a little bit of a high price, but I think you're really getting your money's worth on this camera. I have taken it through many different situations. We went into the cave, we had a drone show that we went to, and I tried to film as much as I could to get different kind of scenarios, multicolored lights, just pitch black, things like that, and I'll post all of that so you can kind of see the comparison on it. But honestly, this is a great camera, guys, and I'm super excited to use it for my permanent kind of everyday driver. So I think that, in my personal opinion, which I am not a expert on cameras, but for what I use, if you watch my videos, you know I do overlanding, camping, outdoor stuff. I do some other like reviews and things like that, but my main kind of deal is outdoors. I'm not an expert when it comes to cameras. I'm probably not the last saying anything, but I'm a normal person. Like, I'm just a regular guy. This is my, you know, I kind of hobby. I don't get paid to work YouTube or anything like that. So if you're wanting a really good camera that can do a lot of things, and you're needing something that's kind of like an outdoorsy kind of camera, high impact, high action camera, this is the one to get. Okay, this is the camera to grab. In my personal opinion, this thing will shoot up to 8K at 100 and something, and do 4K at 200 and something, or not, 4K 1080p and 200 and something FPS. This camera is awesome. Okay, it is a great camera, high powered camera. And I mean, it's literally the size of like a peach. It's awesome. Okay, so like I said, I'm not getting paid for GoPro or anything like that. This is not a sponsorship. This is me giving my true, honest opinion. The only things that I have found that I didn't like were literally the fact that it can be grainy in some areas, but I've not had a camera that isn't. And the zoom is a digital zoom, and everybody knows what a digital zoom looks like. So kids walking by. Anyways, so digital zooms are just digital zooms. The zoom is really good when you're editing. So what I would recommend is that, and I'll show you kind of a comparison. I'll show when you go to, if you zoom in on the camera while you're recording, it's not great. And it doesn't look a lot better after the processing. What I found is that if I want to zoom in on something, I shoot it normally, and then when I go to edit it, I go to the quick app, the GoPro quick app, and I can just zoom in there, and it actually looks pretty decent there. It actually does a pretty good job zooming in right off the app itself. So I have found that it's a lot easier to zoom in after I take the video or take the picture than it is for me to zoom in before and then take the video. To me, it looks better. To some people, it may not. Kind of up to you. So, and kind of like your settings. Of course, the more denoise you have, I think the worse it kind of looks, in my opinion. But you may like the way it looks, so it's totally up to you. So many different settings to play with. So many different features that this thing can do. This camera is a powerhouse. I would highly recommend it. Unless you're just in like the DJI ecosystem or the Insta ecosystem, this camera is really, really good. I have preferred GoPro for a while, even though I haven't owned a GoPro in a long time. I've always been kind of partial to GoPro. I grew up using GoPro, and I really do like this camera. Seriously, it's a good camera. I highly recommend it. As a person that doesn't know a lot about cameras, okay, and as a person that doesn't know but uses cameras quite a bit, this camera is super easy to use, super friendly, user friendly, and literally it's like a It's literally a point and click. It already has all the settings that are really, really good picked out. You can tweak every single setting you want. Honestly, right out of the box, the thing shoots super good. Right now we're shooting in 4K 30 FPS, and I mean, it looks great. So keep that in mind, guys. I think that, like I said, I'm not an expert by any means, but I think that qualifies me a little bit more to not try and sell you a bloated camera. So definitely worth the buy. That's my personal review on it. So just to kind of finish out the things that I loved and then the things I didn't. The thing I loved the most about the camera was the low lighting. The low lighting is phenomenal. The other thing is they fixed the overheating. I walked through an hour-long cave tour with it strapped to my chest, no air moving. We stood a lot and it never overheated. I shot in 4K 30 FPS the entire, actually I shot in low light, which was 4K 60 FPS the entire time, no problem. The battery life's good. I think for that entire hour of shooting nonstop, I started with 100% and I ended around 70 or 65% right in there in battery life. So it has decent battery life and everything. Great camera. My cons is, for some reason, in low light indoors, it gets kind of grainy. For some reason, I don't know why, if it's the texture of like the carpet and the seats and the walls, it looks a little grainy on camera. It doesn't look that bad after it's done, but while you're shooting it, it can look a little grainy, look a little low quality. But honestly, even after I finished, it looked fine. So that's kind of my downfalls and kind of my pros. Ultimately, like I said, I'm just an outdoor guy, so my camera knowledge, as far as like really, really expensive cameras, there's probably cameras that are way better than this, more expensive than this, that I probably will never use because they don't fit into what I do. I don't want to buy $1,000, $2,000 camera that is way better than this one that is going to break while I'm outdoors, or it's going to rain on it and it's going to destroy. This camera's waterproof. It's shock proof. The camera fits me for what I need it to, for what I need it to do. So if it doesn't fit yours, that's fine. Like I said, this is just my take on it. I think some people get a little worked up over cameras and things like that. Honestly, it's a good camera. DJI makes great cameras. Insta makes great cameras. GoPro makes great cameras. It's just really, honestly, your preference. But this Mission 1 Pro sets a new standard. Sets a new standard for the cameras. And I think other cameras will come up to meet the standard. But as of right now, this camera is a powerhouse on the market. And I think it does better for what it is than the other options as of right now. But I don't think it'll be long before the other ones jump on the bandwagon and make a cinematic action camera. So anyways, like, subscribe, be on the lookout. We're getting back into it, starting to cool off out here, and we'll be back outdoors for no time. So we'll see you then.